Get ready, get set, because it's time to go with the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. With your host with the most, the man voted most likely to smoke out with a Yeti, Mr. Brian Brown. Mr. Brian Brown. Now sit back and relax, because it's time to go live across the world. Because it's 420 Somewhere.
And boom, just like that, it is True Crime Thursday, guys. Welcome to the It's 420 Somewhere podcast, guys. I'm your host, Brian Brown, and what this is a podcast where we go live. Let me see where. That's better. We go live Monday through Friday at 4:10, guys. We start at 4:10 and we count down to 4:20. We get into a whole mess of trouble in the meantime, guys. We do Movie Monday. We just did the Jesus Revolution movie. Was it garbage or was it revolutionary? Tune into the podcast and you'll find out, guys. We did Paranormal Tuesdays where we did black-eyed kids, those creepy kids that are all the urban legend right now that are coming out and they have soulless eyes and they're trying to get into your house. We covered that on Tuesday, guys. We did Weed Wednesday where we looked at, we did a strain review. And then we got into the creepiest videos on the net. And it was a good one. Man, it was a good one. There's that security guard who like checks in a ghost. And then there's a guy in an urban explorer environment. Oh man, it's crazy. You need to check that one out, guys. But today is True Crime Thursday. And we are looking at the Gardner Museum Heist. Guys, this heist is widely regarded as one of the most audacious art heists in history. It occurred on the night of March 18th, 1990, when two men dressed as police entered the museum. There's so many theories, guys. This is unsolved. Well, unsolved-ish. We'll get into it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on it, guys. Very super interesting. They got away with, some say $1 billion, some say 500 million. A lot of money. A lot of money. Maybe Whitey Bulger was involved, Irish Mafia. We don't know, but we're going to find out. So get your handy dandy notebooks out, guys, because we're going to solve a crime. That's what we do on It's 420 somewhere. Oh man, I'm excited, guys. Hey, what else? What up? Blah, 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 blah. Yosemite Sam. Or what is it? Who was the guy? Porky Pig. I'm Porky Pig today, guys. Um, did it. That's all, folks. Oh, giveaways, guys. What else do we do on the channel? We do some amazing giveaways like this Exorcist sign, Linda Blair signed Exorcist 8x10, guys. Beckett certified. Look at that. We got this out of the BAM anniversary box, horror box. You need the hashtag BAM. And in 2 weeks, guys, actually about a week and a half now, we're going to give that sucker away. And then we also got the Chucky box, guys, where I put one together last Friday. Check out the baked and unboxed of the Chucky box, guys. This is brought to you by the dailydank.com. You're gonna get a Chucky body knocker. Look at that thing. That's creepy. You're gonna get an autograph. Jennifer Tilly, the bride of Chucky. You guys can see that. Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy donated that. You got Slimer. You got from the movie 31. I actually just met this guy over at the ToyCon this weekend up in Vegas. You get a Daily Dank shirt. Freaking fire Daily Dank shirt. You're going to get a purge mask. You're going to get the amulet that Chucky uses to transfer his body. Look at that. A whole mess of goodness in here, guys. Stickers, there's some more swag in there, all sorts of good stuff. So you're going to hashtag Daily Dank on that one, guys. Daily Dank. All right, what else do we do before we hit 420, guys? We count down the craziest and wildest videos on the net. Today is just people failing, epically failing. These are just people being stupid, guys. We got some good ones for you today. So we're going to count down to 4. Oh, I guess if I had it queued up, man, I'm a slacking. All right, guys, we are going to count it down. Let's go. The top 5 at 420 right now. And yeah, goes the dynamite. That's right, guys. Top 5 at 420, brought to you by the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. Save some green on some green. Oh, you're gonna get those fire deals, guys. I'm gonna go film tonight. Check the dailydank.com for all the wild weekly drops. Oh, those sand traps did suck. Oh man, I love the slow motion laugh, by the way. All right, number 4, guys. Oh, he landed it. Let's watch this again. I gotta see this in slow motion. Ooh. Oh, so he landed that second one, that wheel down instead of wheel up, and that's what I'm assuming. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh shit! I do know what happened on that one. That kid just ate asphalt, man. Boom! Oh! Nothing like some asphalt to the face. I love the way he pulled it out, though. He pulled it out. All right, number 2, guys. Bam! People doing stupid things. Boom! Oh, that's great. All right, number 1, guys. He had it. That was pretty freaking fun. Like, in between his legs, like, what? And he freaking choked. Face full of grass. Oh, that could have been epic. All right, guys, that was your top 5 at 420. Brought to you by the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. Oh, get those fire deals, guys. I actually, the smoking lizard. Ooh, I'm going to tell you about that. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Boom! Oh, flipped him. What's going on here? These guys just jamming out. I don't know what just happened. Oh, that was a fail, whatever that was. Oh, 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 nice, nice. Oh man. How many times, how many tries you gonna give him a mulligan on? Oh. Oh, those sand traps suck. I'm not a golfer by any means, but I seen my poor dad get frustrated enough times that I know it must not be anything nice, guys. All right, we're getting ready to count down to 420. We got a few minutes, guys, and I am getting into some smoking lizard, guys. This is some fire stuff. This is Super Troopers. This is Broken Lizard. Um, all that whole franchise. That's what this is, guys. And they got some big old nugs. And they are going to be competing in the March Cannabis Madness tournament, guys. I just picked up some of their eighths. So actually 7 grams, and I shouldn't tell you guys, for $20. 7 grams for $20, and it's fresh, big nugs. Look at that. Big red hair. You can see the red hairs even out of focus. Look at that. Oh man. Ah, smells so good. This one is a Kim banana, guys, and it smells fresh and fire. Oh, and I just got so into it, I just missed it, but I'm topping it off with everyday dabs, guys, and we're 12 seconds over. But I know you did. You started without me. You know you did. So let's go ahead because it's 420. 22. Boom. Phew. Better late than never. That's what I always say. 22 seconds. You guys know you started without me. You guys know. If I even hit it on time, sometimes I'm a minute off, sometimes I'm 30 seconds off. You guys know how it goes. All right. But are we all in that mindset? I'm in that mindset. I wanted to elaborate on this Broken Lizard, guys. 7 grams for $20 right now at the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. This is fire, guys. This isn't no mama. This ain't your mama's marijuana. It's good stuff. And man, that deal, they don't have a ton of it either. So I'd get down there and get down there quick, guys. I'm gonna probably pick up an ounce today before when I'm down there. All right. Man, we got a good one, guys. We got a great one because it is officially True Crime Thursday. All right, we got production value again for True Crime Thursday. We got them for all the days of the week now. We're just man, we're a major show now. Production value every day of the week. Oh, speaking of which, before we get into this freaking Gardner Museum heist, Boston's own, I want to get into 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, I believe we are going to be celebrating the 420 podcast somewhere. It's 420 somewhere podcast, the 150th episode, guys. We've done almost 150 of these things. Woo! It's been a hell of a ride. It hasn't even been a year yet. We already got 150. I was going to do something at 100, but we had already surpassed it by the time I even realized it. So we're going to shoot for 150, guys. Episode. We're going to do an extravaganza where we're going to go live. We'll be doing a lot of instant giveaways, kind of a Christmas party kind of vibe, a celebration. Company. It's a company party, guys. The company appreciation party. We're going to be getting into that. So look forward to that. I'll have more details as they go. I just realized how 150 guys, 150 episodes only for the 420 podcast show, not even counting the morning show, which I think we're already up to like 40, 50 shows, something like that. We're going to be hitting 100 before you know it on that one. Crazy. It's turning into a thing, guys. It's turning into a thing. Make sure you're checking out the dailydank.com. We got new shirts coming up, guys. Give you a little sneak peek. Look at that bad boy. These will be going live probably before the weekend. Yeah, check out that one. That's one of my favorites. And then we got some podcast ones too, guys. Look at that. And I got a Yeti one that I'm still working on. But enough with that nonsense. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I got other news too that will be starting next week, guys. 150th episode. We'll be rolling out a lot of different stuff. Good news for you guys. Everyone who's watching now, you're gonna be blessed. Well, I don't know what blessed. You're gonna be rewarded. That's all. That's all I'll say. All right, guys. So let's get into this Gardner Museum heist right now, guys. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy story, guys, and still kind of up in the air on who done it. But we're gonna get into this right now.
Built in 1901, the Gardner Museum houses over 15,000 pieces of art collected by the late Isabella Stewart Gardner. And on March 18, 1990, the museum fell victim to a historic heist. Though only 13 pieces of art were stolen, the combined value is worth over $500 million.
Yeah, and some say over $1 billion, guys. You know how art fluctuates, and a lot of these pieces have never been seen again. So this says 500 million, but a lot of people predicted or estimated at close to $1 billion.
Ironically, at the time of the robbery, the museum was in the midst of updating their outdated security. On the night of the heist, 2 inexperienced guardsmen were on duty. One security guard, named Richard E. Abbott, was a music school dropout and part of a rock band. He was a rock performer by day and a security guard at the museum by night.
Okay, doesn't that just isn't that a oxymoron? How are you a rock and roll guy by day? Who's going to see a rock and roll show in the daytime? Your night job should be your band, and then your day job should be. That's why it's called a day job. All right, this guy seems suspect right off the bat.
His own admission, he would sometimes show up for work, drunk or stoned after a performance. Quote, "I'd be just getting off of the stage somewhere and just wanted to slow down before I went over to the most boring job in the world."
All right, he answered my question. All right, son, you're okay.
End quote. Though, Abbott insists he was sober the night of the robbery. Around 12:54 a.m., a half hour before the thieves had successfully entered the building, a fire alarm went off on the 3rd floor of the museum. When it was investigated, there was no fire. Whether this was part of the thieves' scheme is unknown. At 1:24 a.m., 2 men dressed as policemen buzzed into the security desk where Abbott was stationed. The men stated that they were responding to a disturbance call and demanded entry. There were St. Patrick's Day parties happening in the neighborhood, so a disturbance call made sense to the security guard Abbott. Also,
yeah, oh man, so this is Boston. Yeah. So, yeah, of all the Man, this thing was pretty planned, pretty good. And I'm going to say it was probably definitely part of their plan to hit that alarm and have it go off. I mean, think about it. The alarm goes off, the police show up. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's Boston. You got crazy guy going, ah, in the camera. I mean, it's crazy. Let's face it, guys. Boston gets nuts, especially on St. Patty's Day, man. You got the whole Irish Boston, like, oh, man. That's a perfect night to pull something like this off. Cops are busy with all the drunken fights. Not that I'm trying to stereotype. Hey, I'm Irish. I'm part Irish. So people like the Irish guys like to fight when they get drunk. Not all. I'm not stereotyping anyone, but and a lot of different people like to fight when they're drunk. But so I could see where the police would be tied up during this. And man, perfect timing. Perfect, good plan so far.
Abbott added that he wanted to avoid getting arrested because he had tickets to a Grateful Dead concert later that day. Abbott buzzed the two policemen through the employee entrance, violating museum protocol. Then, one of the men said to Abbott, quote, "You look familiar. I think we have a default warrant out on you. Come out here and show us some identification." Abbott was
Okay, so you find any kind of stoner, any kind of druggie, any kind of especially a young man, and you're like, I think we have a warrant for you. He's gonna, and he was already paranoid. He wanted to hit the Grateful Dead show, guys. He didn't want to be in jail for the Grateful Dead, and that kind of shows where his head was at too. Was that hey, I could go to jail any minute, just randomly. So he probably had weed or something on him.
tricked to leave his control desk, which has the only button that would immediately alert the police. He was then instructed to face the wall and stand spread eagle. Abbott recalls that as he was being handcuffed, he found it odd that he was not frisked beforehand, and it dawned on him that this could be a robbery. At this time, the second guard arrived and was also arrested. The second guard
Oh man, he looked like a winner. Eating a banana, like what the? I would think that this would probably be like one of the easiest security guard jobs up until that point. Like you're just chilling, you're just doing your thing. You show up at night, you lounge around. No one's in the museum. You don't think of a museum really as a place that's gonna get like robbed per se. I mean, what is that? Once in a million op chance that someone would. I mean, it's such a skilled set. So some dude with a shotgun, drunk Bobby from down the block in the Southie projects isn't coming down. All right, good morning. No, I can't do it Irish, but you know what I mean. So these guys, these security guards had it easy until this night.
asked why he was being arrested, and the men replied, "You're not being arrested. This is a robbery. Don't give us any problems, and you won't get hurt." The guard responded, quote, "Don't worry, they don't pay me enough to get hurt." The heads, hands, and feet of the guards were tied with duct tape. Motion detectors in the museum show that the robbers then went to the second floor and split up, removing various pieces of art from the walls. During the heist, an alarm went off. It was meant to alert guards that someone had gotten too close to the artwork. The robbers found the alarm and smashed it. At 2:28 a.m., the robbers returned to the security counter. They made a second check on the guards in the basement. They then removed tapes that captured their movement outside the side door and in other.
Okay, so this is what, 1990? So I guess, yeah, 1990, were alarms like remote, or were they like just siren, basically, like you trip the trigger and it goes off? Because I would imagine, like, I don't know, 1990, yeah, fresh out of the 80s, probably not. I don't know, a fancy place like that, but they were doing an upgrade, so it probably was out of date. All right, smart move, getting rid of the tapes. Love the VHS, by the way.
Places in the museum. After 13 minutes, they readied for their leave, taking the art to their vehicle in 2 separate trips. There were witnesses who recalled seeing the thieves near the museum sitting in a red hatchback. Of the 13 items taken, noteworthy pieces included 3 Rembrandts and, bizarrely, a gilded filial eagle from a Napoleonic banner outside the tapestry room. They tried taking a 4th Rembrandt, but it was apparently too hard to remove. skipping to about
Dang, Rembrandts are freaking pricey. I love that they were in some freaking little red cheap ass. I guess, again, good getaway vehicle. It's inconspicuous. It's some old freaking whatever they said it was, a Corolla or whatever. There's a lot of them. Yeah, man, this was a skilled freaking heist, man.
4 hours later, sometime between 6:45 and 8:16 a.m., the two morning shift guards showed up to work, unable to enter the museum, prompting the deputy security director to call the police. At 8:30 a.m., the police showed up and discovered the two night security guards handcuffed in the basement. Despite wearing gloves, which prevented leaving fingerprints, the thieves didn't cover their faces, which let the guards get a good look at them. However, the security guard Abbott could not recall what the men looked like when asked by the Boston police. Abbott
Ooh, so is it because he's a freaking stoner, rock and roll guy missing a few brain cells? Hey, man, there's times where I pour myself a drink in the kitchen and I come back out to the couch and I sit down and I realize I forgot my fucking drink. So, I mean, you got a good one going, man. You're on some, you've been performing all night, ears are ringing, you've been smoking a J. You're like, yeah, I'm just going to sit back and relax. And all of a sudden these guys come in, they're in your face, they're saying warrant. I could see how he didn't remember. Or was he part of the crew? That's what we're going to find out.
recalls that the police sketch, quote, was awful, end quote. Though, in 2005, Abbott mentioned, quote, one of them looked like Colonel Klink on Hogan's Heroes. That's all I can remember.
He looked like Colonel Klink off of Hogan's Heroes. Oh, yes, I was robbed by Colonel Klink and Schultz. One more word with you. Is that the last stereotype we can get away with is Nazis? Can be like, it's free game on Nazis, right? We could just I could do the accent, I could do the whole 9 yards, and I guess I'm a white guy with blue eyes. I guess I could do it anyway. But I don't think no one's getting offended over Nazi stereotypes, are they? I don't think so these days. I love that he looked like Colonel Klink. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Remember, end quote. Wonder why the thieves left behind pieces that were clearly worth more, like a Michelangelo and a Titian. And why did they spend so much time trying to take such an obscure object as the filial eagle? It occurred in April of 1994.
That is true. So they said it was like on a flag, like on a banner, like a battle banner, and it was the top of the flagpole. They spent so much time, but man, this thing was pretty precise. What is it, like 13 minutes in and out? I think they said. They probably, it seems like they knew what they were after.
Or when the museum received an anonymous letter claiming to know the location of the art. The author seemed to have a great knowledge of the pieces stolen and the art world in general. The anonymous tipper stated that the pieces were safe in a controlled environment, but the museum had to act quickly because a buyer in another country who was unaware that the pieces were stolen could purchase them and claim legal ownership. The writer asked,
How is that possible? Can you get legal ownership from that? I guess in another country, I guess the red tape would be pretty thick, but we're talking like national, like you're talking Rembrandts and you're talking, I don't know. I have to look into that. We need to have a lawyer on retainer for the show. Oh, I got a few.
for $2.6 million for facilitating the return of the artwork. The museum agreed. The museum then received a second letter. The author was pleased they were interested in negotiating, but was discouraged by the local law, state, and federal authorities intervening. The writer openly wondered if they were trying to arrest the middleman on top of recovering the art. They wrote in all caps, quote, "You cannot have both," end quote. The tipper also added that even if they see no way of following through with the negotiations, they would give some clues to the whereabouts of the art. They've never heard from the author since. That being said, let's get into the theories. The first theory is that a thief named Brian McDevitt was responsible for the crime. McDevitt had committed a similar art robbery in the 80s, where he hijacked a FedEx truck and dosed the driver with ether. Wearing the uniform and carrying duct tape, McDevitt planned to bind museum employees at the Hyde Collection in Glens Falls, New York, and cut paintings from their frames. Hilariously, McDevitt and his accomplices got stuck in traffic and arrived after the museum closed, thus foiling their plans. McDevitt served
How shitty is that? Freaking stuck in traffic, and then you roll up, and the guy's putting the close sign. You're running up with your guns. He's like, nope. Well, I don't know. Guys, we're going to vote on this, so make sure you're getting your handy-dandy notebooks out. We're going to vote on a suspect. I'm going to put a poll up. So we got this guy first.
a few months in jail for attempted robbery. McDevitt also lived about a 10-minute drive away from the Gardner Museum at the time of the heist. He was questioned by the FBI in 1992, and later in front of a grand jury. His lawyer told the Globe that his client knew nothing about the crime. Second theory is a classic, that the heist was an inside job. This would explain how the thieves knew where the only alarm button was located, and also their knowledge that the artwork did not have anti-theft devices. The FBI claim that security guard Richard E. Abbott has not been ruled out as a suspect. The suspicion goes beyond Abbott being poor at his job. As mentioned before, Abbott notably could not recall the faces of the robbers shortly after the heist. Also, despite the thieves' failure to destroy motion sensor equipment, the motion sensors, oddly, didn't record the thieves on the first floor where a piece was stolen. But that same equipment picked up Abbott's round in that room before the thieves arrived. Abbott also
Ooh, Abbott. You know, it kind of makes some sense. He knows the ins and outs. He knows the timing. He's in the underground scene, man. He was a rocker. Grateful Dead. Woo!
broke security protocol by granting the disguised policeman entry. Museum policy prohibits letting unauthorized personnel, even police, from entering the museum. Abbott states he was unaware of this policy. Yet, this wasn't the first time Abbott had broken protocol. At one of the museum's New Year's Eve parties, Abbott snuck in some friends, which, to be fair, seems fairly innocuous. But that doesn't apply to his third break of protocol. A video released 2 years ago shows Abbott letting in an unauthorized visitor the night before the heist. Law enforcement officials believe this person may have been scanning the area for a dry run. Abbott says,
Yeah, wow. Now, if that's a coincidence, that's a hell of a coincidence. Oh, man. Yeah. Ooh, that's some trouble there, Abbott.
he does not remember this visitor, despite being caught on tape. Nonetheless, in 2015, Abbott stated in an interview that he's still angry about that night. It's from Dutch private investigator Arthur.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. He was going to probably lose his job anyway. It doesn't even sound like a good job. The guy's like, they don't pay me enough. Do whatever you want. Abbott. I'm keeping an eye on Abbott.
Brand, an expert in international art crimes. In his impressive endeavors to recover stolen art, Brand has posed as a Texas oil millionaire, a representative for sheiks and princes, as well as a general criminal. In one instance, he negotiated with criminal gangs to recover $25 million of artwork. About a year after the heist, Arthur Brand acquired images of the stolen artwork in storage somewhere in Holland. In 2010, Brand heard that the pieces were in possession of a member of the Irish Republican Army. After working on the case with the FBI for roughly 12 years, Brand theorizes that the pieces were originally stolen by small-time thieves who sold the pieces to US gang members, who then, possibly in the mid-1990s, shipped the pieces off to Ireland to some top-ranking Irish Republican Army commanders. Brand estimates that he can get the pieces back in a matter of months. He will not give details as to why, but believes that the investigation and leads are, quote, making the haystack smaller, end quote. FBI.
So, man, this guy's all over it. So he definitely had something to do with it. The IRA, what do you guys think about that? Man, and then also don't forget about Whitey Bulger and the Irish Mafia at the time. A lot of players in this.
FBI spokeswoman Kristen Satera stated, quote, the FBI believes with high confidence that we have identified those responsible for the theft, even though we still don't know where the art is currently located. Ore, the director of security at the museum, commented that stolen pieces are either recovered soon after the crime or about a generation later. For many years, the museum was offering a $5 million reward for information that could lead to a return of the artwork in good condition. And the offer was even doubled to a $10 million reward for a short period, but expired on December 31st, 2017. The statute of limitations for the prosecution of theft passed in the mid-1990s. In 2005,
Oh, dang. I didn't realize that. Well, if it was federal, does that still hold up? I didn't even think about that, the statutes of limitations. Dang.
Boston's U.S. attorney said he will not prosecute whoever comes forward with the paintings. Whether that day comes remains to be seen. But for now, the identity of the burglars and the location of the stolen Gardner Museum artwork will remain unsolved.
It's unsolved, guys. Bum, bum, bum. What would you
Built-in
guys want to see on the next mystery, on the next True Crime Tuesday, Thursday, guys? If you're trying to up it a couple days, blow up those comments. Let me know. I'm going to start putting up polls so you guys can vote on some of this stuff. If you haven't voted on Paranormal Tuesday, guys, we got it up. What is it? Spontaneous combustion. We got time travel. We got the Hope Diamond, the Curse of the Hope Diamond. All sorts of cool ones up there, guys. So what do you guys think happened at the freaking museum? Who the night at the museum? Who do you guys think is responsible? I'm leaning the security guard. I don't know. Maybe there was a lot of coincidences in there, a lot of unexplained things. But man, what a crazy, crazy story. And the statute of limitations has run up. Do you think we see the art ever returned? Or do you think it's in some rich guy's mansion? It's on Epstein's Island in that weird box that he has up there. Who knows? Who knows, guys? But that was your True Crime Thursday. All right, man. That was a good one. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one, guys. So I don't know. My theory I'm going to stick to would be the security guard, and I think maybe the Irish mob played a role in that. It just seemed too freaking executed, too clean. But you know what? If you got your buddy who's not doing anything and you've just got free run of the place and they knew a little too much about the sensors and everything, crazy. All right, guys, I'm going to put up a poll hopefully before you guys see this so you guys can vote on who you think the heister was. The heister? The thief, the cat burglar, if you will. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. This was a good one, man. Big shout out to everyone, Kingman Crew, Nova Mike, what's up? Charlie, everyone, Kingman Crew, all the usual suspects, Teresa Deller. You guys know who you are, everyone, guys. I'm gonna actually, that's what one of the announcements is gonna be, guys. You'll see very, very soon. All right, guys, so make sure you check it out, thedailydank.com. Wild weekly drops will be hitting in the morning, if not late tonight, and we'll be getting those out to you. You got a good one, guys. Man, the smoking lizard is fire. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. $20 for 7 grams. You're not going to find that anywhere else, man. Anywhere else. All right, guys, I'm going to beat it. Just beat it, beat it, beat it. Oh, beat it. All right, guys, if you want to see more of this content, make sure you check it out, thedailydank.com. Show it some love, guys. We got new swag coming up by this weekend. Look at that. I love that shirt. That shirt is fire. And then this one turned out really well, really good as well, too, guys. Yep. Don't forget it's 420 somewhere. All right, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Appreciate you. And I will see you in the morning, guys. We got a good one. If you haven't checked out the 710 show, we go live every morning about 7:08. We go hit about 7:10, guys, and we go crazy. This morning we did the best. We didn't do the worst. We did the best Saturday morning 80s shows, guys, cartoons. Who remembers sitting down with your bowl of cereal watching the Smurfs and the Snorks and Alvin and the Chipmunks? We covered all of that, guys. Had a good time doing it. He-Man. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you on the flip side. We'll see you at 4. No, we'll see you at 7:10, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can.